All right, so finally, Carmelo Anthony gets moved. And it's to the Hawks. Now, hang on. Just before we jump down Carmelo's back and down his throat, and they're like, oh, well, he went to a team that he didn't want to go to. Just pause for a second. So here are the deets of the entire trade. The Atlanta Hawks are getting Carmelo Anthony, Justin Anderson, and the coveted 2022 first-round pick. Oklahoma City, we thought at first we're going to get Mike Muscala, but he, from Bucknell, is going to the Philadelphia 76ers. Oklahoma City is getting Dennis Schroeder and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot, who is mainly a dunker that Philadelphia selected a few years back. Now, Carmelo is going to Atlanta, but is going to get waived. Huge win for him. And here's the reason. All that Atlanta wanted to do was get rid of Dennis Schroeder because they already traded for Jeremy Lin, who is now going to mentor Trae Young, who they moved up to select in the draft. Remember, Dallas took Luka Doncic, and Atlanta took Trae Young because of the draft day first-round trade that occurred between those two teams. Carmelo is getting paid no matter what. The just under $28 million, all to him. The Oklahoma City Thunder, meanwhile, huge win for them. Yes, they have to give up a future first-round pick, but now they get a quality backup point guard, which could mean trouble for Raymond Felton. And on top of this, now they could have more quicker ball handlers. And lastly, they save almost $100 million in cash because they did not stretch, traded, and now going to be waived is Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, knowing that he is going to be a free agent, is going to be coveted by two teams. One that I understand, the other one that I don't understand. The one that I do, of course, as we certainly all do know, is the Houston Rockets. And he's been coveted by the Houston Rockets, it seems, for the past 2 seasons. Had career lows this past year, fine. It happens. It's tough for a lot of people to get their looks when they're playing with Russell Westbrook and Paul George because they got to get theirs, as we certainly do know. Usage rate, points per game, free throw attempts per game, free throws made per game. All around a career worst year for Carmelo Anthony across almost every major statistical category. So now that he's a free agent, the Houston Rockets, who lost Trevor Ariza to the Phoenix Suns, mind-boggling move for that team, $15 million for Trevor Ariza. And they also lost Luke Bashar Mbah-a-Moute, the UCLA product, who's going back to the Clippers, who he played for previously in his NBA career. This is a no-brainer. If Carmelo buys in, he goes to Houston. If he still has that friction, which Mike D'Antoni stated years ago when they were in New York, I quit because of Carmelo. He owned up to it. If they can get rid of that friction, which according to many media reports they have, then it could be a very, very good relationship for the team. They would get a spark plug off the bench, even though he laughed at it going into last season when he signed with OKC. Hey, P, they think I'm going to come off the bench. If he changes his mentality and comes off the bench and can easily put up 12 to 15 points per game off of the bench, and potentially even win a Sixth Man of the Year if he buys into what Houston is doing, 2 parts of the Banana Boat crew with Carmelo Anthony and Chris Paul reunited, and look at this. Then they get a microwave who can just come in, put up buckets, and be shielded defensively against the opposing team's second team. And lastly, what else I do like about this is that Oklahoma City now gets to take a flyer on a guy like Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot. I know that he hasn't been great. He hasn't getting a lot of PT and hasn't gotten a lot of run. But you never know what happens just if you insert a high-flying dunker with Russell Westbrook. So let us know your thoughts. Carmelo Anthony likely going to Houston, but could potentially go to Miami. Thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to TYT Sports.